Today, we have a guest who I'll introduce in a second. And this lady, she's a gorgeous lady. She's a Christian. She's a mother. She's a businesswoman who's been in this field a long, long time. So I'm excited and looking forward to hear what she has to share with us. Please, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Miss Margaret Okwalinga. Margaret, you are most welcome. Very beautifully dressed for the occasion.
Thank you very much. Okay, I think at this point I'll introduce myself. Everybody knows me, but let me do it formally. My name's Margaret Okwalinga, and I'm a mother of 3. I'm a grandmother of 2, and I'm a businesswoman. I run a food business. I have a restaurant, and I also do outside catering. Outside catering, I specialize in East African food, but I also do corporate events. With the corporate events, I do a fusion of African food and European food, because then that will help the clientele. I mean, if the European people order the food, at least they get to taste a bit of African food. So that's why we get that fusion.
Wow.
Yes.
Exciting.
So briefly, that is me. I'm going to tell my story. The journey that I've had in business, yes, and also hopefully somebody will be blessed, somebody will be encouraged, and maybe if you have questions, then maybe you can ask, and some of the questions might be answered in today's, when we speak today. So hopefully you learn something and you go with something today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Margaret. The way she turns and smiles at me just makes me smile. She's like, ooh. Now, I know. Margaret, can you please tell us what actually motivated you to start your business?
Okay, I've always been passionate about food from the time I was young. I love to cook, I love to entertain. When I was back in Uganda, I did a secretarial course. And when I was in college, I used to get my pocket money by baking bread, bread and also samosas. That's how I used to earn my money and sell to the students. So the passion has always been there, been passionate about food. When I came to this country, that is in the 1990-something.
In the 90s.
I don't remember properly, but I came to this country, and that passion even it grew, because I was in a land of opportunity, and I thought to myself, I need to start a business around food. And I also attended a few functions, weddings, and I was a little bit disappointed because we were in the first world, but the way the food was presented was not really, our food was not presented properly. So I thought to myself, I can do something about this, because I love to cook. So that's where my motivation came from. So I decided, you know what, one day I'll open a business, food business. I didn't know how, but I just had that feeling that I will open a business. So as time went by, I decided, okay, if I'm to open a business, I need to study.
Yeah, I was going
Because,
to ask you about that.
yes.
Did you just go and where's the building? Where's the restaurant? Why am I going? Or did you think about studying?
Yes.
Having a course in food, whatever, high food
Yes.
preparations, catering?
Yes. So basically, I did a little of research, and I decided to look for a college or a university that did hospitality. And I decided I'll do the best. I'll go for the best. I didn't want to go for any. So, and there's this college where the Johnny Olivers graduated from.
Wow,
Yeah,
Jamie.
the Gordon Ramsay.
Oh,
so,
wow.
So by then I didn't know them, but then I said, let me find out which is the best university in hospitality. And so I went for this, the university was called Westminster Kingsway. And so I spoke to a friend. I used to work in Sainsbury's. And I said, you know what, I'm looking to study. I want to study catering. And I've read about this university. She told me, no, don't go there. I said, why? She said, because everybody that goes there, if you're black, you're not likely to pass. I said, okay, are there black people? She said, yes, but they don't pass, usually most of them. And then I said, no, I'll go there because I want the best.
Wow.
So I went to Westminster Kingston. I did hotel, catering, and institutional management.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well
so
done,
when
Margaret.
I graduated, I not only did I pass, but
Hold on,
within
Steve.
the modules, you were supposed to design a restaurant. And I designed a restaurant, and I won an award.
Wow.
I was awarded in the House of Parliament. That's where we got the award from.
Wow.
I was the only black girl there. And the man said, I've been practicing your name the whole day so that I can get it right. So have I got it right, Okwalinga? I said, yes, that is it. So basically what I wanted to emphasize with that story is that it is important, enthusiasm alone or the passion, the zeal is not good enough. If you're starting a business or whatever you're going to do, educate yourself. It's very important because then you will have the edge when the storms come, or at least you'll broaden your mind so you know what to expect. So it is very important starting a business. It is important to educate yourself, to go for some kind of training. It's good to research, to know what you're going for.
Wonderful. Farm foundations. Farm foundation. That is very, very key. Now, okay, tell us how you then, after your education, getting your award, wow. How did you then move on into what challenges did you get to start up your business?
Okay, one of the things that I have learned over the journey of business is that first you need to believe in yourself. Very important to believe in yourself, believe in the business, believe in the product. Because if you don't believe in the product or you believe in yourself, you are not likely to make it if the storms come. Because, trust me, as I just told you the story of this lady telling me, okay, you are not going to pass, this is going to happen to you. If you don't believe that in yourself and believe in that product, the business that you're going to do, people are going to sway you. And you will not accomplish what you want to do. So it is very, very important to actually believe on yourself and believe on the business and believe in the product that you do. Yeah. So and also I learned that it is very important to research on the compliancy of that particular business, because it's very easy, I'm sorry to say this, as black people, we tend to take the shortcuts. When you start a business, you don't want to find out what is expected of you of that business. The laws of the country that surround that business, what you're expected to do, because in the food business, there is a lot that is expected of you to make sure that people are safe when you provide them food. So it is surrounded with a lot of compliancy. Very important to make sure that you are compliant. And all this information is out there. You just have to look for it and you'll find it. So compliancy is something that you cannot have a shortcut. And also, if you have a shortcut, it just means that the law will catch up with you at some point. That's why you find that our businesses as black people, we shut down after a period of time because we've not taken time to actually find out what is important that you are required to do.
Thank you, Margaret. I hear you. Compliances. Now, you've just mentioned one. Can you just outline briefly what other compliances are necessary when you're starting your business? When you started your business, you talked about the food, hygiene, and research. There are some other compliances I'm sure you had to meet. I can give you a clue.
Yeah.
HMRC?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah. You have to do your taxes, and also you have to, the other ones, there's so many, I'll mention a few. Health and safety, of course, is very important. The food hygiene, and also these days risk assessment. You have to make sure the place is safe. There's the premises has to be fire compliant. With the food business, you even have to invite the police, have to come, the fire brigade have to come. All these people have to come and check your premises to make sure that it is safe for people to come there to eat and dine.
Employment law?
Employment law, yes, but the few, so many.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very many. But it is possible. I mean, sometimes it feels like it's overwhelming, but if you chip away bit by bit, and I also believe as Christians, we have God by our side. We are not like people. If people who do not have God can succeed and be millionaires and billionaires, how about us who have God on our side? We are more than able to do it. Believe me, yeah.
Thank you, Margaret. You just hit the nail on the head. I was going to ask you about funding. How did you prepare? Did you have capital? Did you get a loan? Did you have helpers?
Yeah.
To start your business.
Yes. What I did, I remember, first thing is what we were taught is to write a business plan. So I wrote a business plan, and then I went to my manager, bank manager. Okay, the bank manager said, okay, yes, good business plan, and you need to have at least half of the money. If I'm to lend you 20,000, you have to have 10,000 pounds. Because then I'm not going to give you my money when you've not put yours, because you are not going to, you're not going to be faithful, or you're not going to find it, I don't know what the word to use, but he said you have to also put in a stake.
Yeah.
So I went to a business. So when I wrote my business plan, because the bank always wants a business plan if it's to lend you money, and then I had to also get half of the money. So, and then the bank gave me the other half, and that's how I started. I started with a loan. Now you need resilience to stick in there and to believe what I'd said earlier on, to believe in your product, to believe even in yourself that, you know what, this can work. While people are telling you, you know what, you just need to give up. But you need to stick in there and say, you know what, it's going to work. It will work. It must work. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Margaret. Now, I think you can now give us a quick story. You said you have a story to tell. Tell us what happened from when you started the business to where you are now. Briefly, give us your journey. Was it all good? Did you fall down and got up? How was it? Yes, we want to know. We want to know.
Okay, I think I've told you the beginning of the journey. And in between there, of course, there's been ups and downs. And the ups and downs have been not a few. During this, the recent one was during the lockdown, yeah, whereby most of the businesses struggled. And I go back to what I said earlier on, that being compliant, it was very important. If you paid your tax, if you paid your business rates, and you registered the business with your local authority, it meant that you were able to get some help. So people who did not, or who cut the corners and were not registered and were not compliant, they didn't get any help, which meant that at least when you got help, you were able to survive that storm. So it takes us back to this place where I've been saying that it's important to be compliant, and it's important to go by the law and by the rules. So when the storms came, at least I was able to survive it. And also, there's been other, I don't know whether you want me to tell the whole story of this.
Yes, we've got some time. Yeah, I'm looking at that time. So
Okay. Yeah. And yeah, Stephen had told me part 2 would have been the challenges and the things that I faced during business.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have touched on it, but hopefully next time.
Okay, because I know that we have at least another 15 minutes. So yeah, just briefly tell us your highlights. Okay, give us the highlights of your journey. And then we can conclude.
Yeah. Okay. Highlights. Okay. I can. What can I say about the highlights? The highlights is that I love what I do so much. I love it. It runs in my bones. Even if I'm given a second chance, what would you do? I said, I will choose catering. I love food. I love entertaining. Yeah. And it brings me joy. I have a testimony to say. I'll take an opportunity to say a testimony. The last year or the years before, just as we came out of lockdown, things were hard, things were tough. But when Pastor Lincoln announced and said we needed to sow seeds and like our first fruits, and I stepped out. It was not easy. I broke it in two. I didn't do it all at once, but I said, let me do this, yeah, because I felt compelled to do it. I said it was the right thing to do. And then God has been amazing. My business, as I speak, has doubled, literally. It's been great. I'm Harriet is you can testify. She sometimes comes there on Sundays and is busy, and we have nowhere to sit people. God has been amazing that the doors and the windows have opened. I get people, these people who, I'm not very good in social media.
Celebrities.
Yes, the social media people come there, they blog on they test the food, they post it out there, and people tell me I've come from Manchester, I've come from Birmingham, I saw it on media, and I'm not disappointed. Yeah, that is one of my highlights. And then as well, we are believing God, like God has shaken me up from my comfort zone, and I'm thinking, you know what, this is great, this is wonderful, you need to think of what next.
Wow. Yes.
Yeah. So that has been the highlight of the year, that God has just opened the doors and windows. It's amazing.
Thank you, thank you. You know, Margaret, you have surprised me. It looks like you read my mind, because I was going to ask you that. What values, as a Christians, what values and beliefs do you think have added to your business? This is as a Christian, but you've just answered that. That as a Christian, your beliefs and values, God has opened ways. This is wonderful. So as Christians, when we're doing businesses, we should not just copy the world. We should stick to our biblical principles, for financial increase. And that's why we are having this service to educate ourselves how to pursue business based on Christian values. Amen. Thank you so much, Margaret. I did want to ask you one other question, which actually you touched about advertising. Where do you advertise? How do you did mention something that people just come. Okay, you know, that is part of it, because I've actually witnessed people who came filming. They set up cameras in your restaurant to film. How do you advertise? How do you connect to the social media yourself? Do you do it yourself? Do you hire the young people to do it for you? Or do you give it to God to do as he wants?
That's a very interesting one. It goes back, I wanted to mention about one other point, is that to identify your weaknesses and your strength, or your strength and weaknesses, yeah? So I am weak at advertising. I'm weak in social media. I'm weak in, putting the word out there. That is not my strength, I admit that. And I've struggled over the years regarding advertisement, and which is it's the lifeline of a business. You need to keep reminding people. Imagine Coca-Cola, how long it has been, but it's one of the ones that is always pushing advertising and keeping it in people's minds all the time. So it's very, very important to advertise. It's very important to keep your name out there. But at the same time, it's my weak point. When I realized it was my weak point, I invited my son at some point. I said, you know what, you're a young man. You can bring in something new. This is not me. I'm not good at this. So identifying your weakness, and then and also knowing your strength, you can always look for help. You cannot be the jack of all trades. Some people are, but sometimes it helps you to bring in somebody who can help you. So my son came into the business, and he is good at admin. When I was in Hackney, when I started, I struggled a lot, and I'll go to that in the next session, whereby I went through a lot, and because my admin was not strong, and I was leaking money, and all the time I was in debt, all the time I was bailiffs. But when things have changed, When I thought to myself, I'm not good at this. I'm good at production, making sure the product is good, making sure I'm good with the people, looking for business. That's my strength. But the admin part of business is not my strength. So I brought in somebody who is so good at it. Trust me, this second time round, not once have I had a bailiff.
Amen.
Yeah, because somebody stronger is working with me. So advertising, very important. Now I'm in social media. I'm in Just Eat, Uber Eat. My son, yeah. My son put a platform there where you can even, the young people now, they don't have time to even call. They just want to go online and order. So we have a platform you can order online and then just come and pick up your food. So we have kind of gone with the trend and the times. It has not much to do with me, but my son.
Lovely, lovely. Thank you so much. So, guys, we are coming to the end of our session today. You have had all the important points Margaret put out. I don't know whether Margaret should summarize them herself rather than myself. The important key points, which you put out, just to remind them briefly from the start. You had a dream. You went to study, yeah? Can you finish off and then?
My glasses.
Yes, okay. Yeah, she's going to summarize for us, and then we can end our session today, because I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. Yes, big service.
Yeah. Just a few points.
Yeah.
One thing which is important, what I said earlier on, is to study, do a training for whatever business you're going to do. It's important to have knowledge of that particular business. And then the second point is believe in yourself and also believe in your product. If you don't believe in what you're going to do, there's no point doing it. So believe, first of all, also that you are able to do that, and you are able to persevere, and you are able to stick in there. And then identify your strengths and your weaknesses. Also is another point. And then also, what I didn't mention earlier on is also to be able to find out what your competitors are up to. So it's very important you can visit them, you don't need to announce who you are, or
Yes.
because you're like a spy, you want to know what is happening there.
Secret shopping, they call it.
Yes. And then find out what they are good at, so you can also bring that to your own business. You're not doing that to destroy them, but you're doing to help yourself, so that you know what are they doing right, because we might not know everything, but always keep finding out. Knowledge is very important, and that's what one of the big things about the big service. We are always being educated. I've learned a lot. It has encouraged me. It has motivated me. I'd gone stale a little bit, but now I'm back again.
Thank you, Margaret. I'll just end by asking this very small question. You talked about competitors. When you identify your competitors, now, do you also think about the good things they do, which you don't, and say, maybe collaboration, I can work with this person to, for example, you get a big order, they ask for things which you know you cannot do. Do you reach out to your competitors and work with them so that they can supply you that other product? Collaboration is in trend these days.
Absolutely.
Do you practice that?
Yes, I do. especially when we do weddings, and these days there's a lot of mixed weddings whereby I specialize on East African food, but you can find Ugandan is getting married to a Nigerian, Ugandan is getting married to a European person. So I do subcontract. So I have a few Nigerian caterers. I source them, the ones that are very good, because I don't want to bring in food, substandard food, the ones that are vetted. So I go there and I check them out, and they say, I want to work with you. So when I have a wedding that is Ugandan and Nigerian, I do go and I call up the lady and say, you know what, can you help me out? I can do jollof, but I don't do moi moi, I don't do this, I don't do that, egusi. And then she does them and delivers them, then I present them to my clients.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think now we have come to the end of our session, our big service. So what's going to happen now? Could you please give a big applause to Margaret?
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was very, your story is very beautiful. Thank you. And now can I ask the other locations to go ahead, disperse and discuss what Margaret has shared. We're going to do the same here. We're going to do take questions, comments, anything that is on your mind. Please feel free. Thank you very much for your attendance.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes.
Yes. Any questions?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask about the beginning, the real genesis of that business. I saw you starting, and I remember there was a testimony, but I just wanted to see if but it was about an offering. Let's look at the spiritual bit of it.
Yeah.
What was the foundation like spiritually? Yes, you were strategic, feasibility study, and those things, business plan. But what was the spiritual foundation? Because you're a Christian. What can we learn about it? Did you give an offering? Was it just a prayer before you launched? I just wanted to see if...
Going back, I prayed about it. Before I started the business, I saw God, and I remember the premises in Hackney. Vividly, I remember when I was looking for the premises in prayer. When I got to that premises, I remember saying, "This is the place." And the night before, I'd had a dream that the opening day of the restaurant. So and also as a Christian, we commit our businesses into God's hands. Like I've even with my staff, when we have a challenge, I tell them I have both Muslims and Christians, and when we finish the day, we pray, and sometimes I ask everybody, when we're having a meeting, we start with a prayer. So I've kind of let them know that this is a Christian business, and we pray. Yeah.
Thank you.
And also to add on to that, recently I got a feeling within my heart that I need to give back to God the talent that He has given me. And that was, I provided food without, provided food to God's people without having to charge or anything. And that was just from my heart.
Thank you. Okay.
I don't know whether I've answered your question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Another question. Pastor Grace?
Yeah, Margaret, first of all, we celebrate you.
Oh, thank you.
You've done an amazing job. And I did see one of the social media things where they were talking about Exeline, and I'm like, I know her, she's so good. Yeah.
you.
So well done, well
Thank
done,
you.
well done.
Thank you.
Our very own, yeah. We're related. So my question is this. I've done a little bit of, not catering, well, baking is catering.
Yeah.
One of the most difficult things, I think, is duplicating yourself or multiplying yourself.
Yeah.
So I think that it would be helpful if you could tell us, because we know Margaret, the cook, and
Yes.
we can taste Margaret in the
Yes.
food.
Yes.
But how do you make that, how do you multiply that and without losing the quality of
Yeah.
it? So when I was baking, one of the reasons why I stopped baking was I was killing myself because I was the only one. I know the recipe, it's in my head.
Yeah.
Like I can't tell anybody how I do it, I just know I do it.
Yeah.
How do you multiply yourself?
Okay, good one. It is a challenge because I come with a passion, and maybe sometimes the people that you employ, they are not as passionate as you are. I've tried my best to write my recipes, and whenever I bring in a new person, I try to train them. We have some signature dishes, which is our chapati, our spinach, and vienda. With the chapati, because it's the best seller, if you're not good enough, you go. So you have to get it right. The temperature of the water, the temperature at which it is cooked, every stage of the chapati has to be done a certain way, and that's when you get the quality. So when I'm thinking of replicating Exceline, I have the recipes written down. So I'm hoping to train, and then I'm hoping hopefully to monitor and make sure that the quality remains the same. It's not easy, but it's doable.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
You happy with that, Pastor Grace? Okay, another question? Oh, Harriet, my namesake, at the top.
Thank you so much, Margaret. I've admired your finesse, the way you do things, the excellent way you present everything.
Thank you.
And my question is, as an African culture,
Yeah.
how do you deal with people who just want to get away with it?
People who? So come again?
You know, who just want everything free?
Yeah, I've had
Because the thing is, most of them might be close to you. You might not want to embarrass them. You might not want to break the tie. But how did you get to that point whereby, like someone says that, yeah, we are brothers, but my business does not?
Okay. Is that the customers when they come in, or you're talking about the customers?
No,
or-
I'm talking about the people who are close to you. Yes,
Oh, the
sometimes
people
you
that
can,
are close to me.
Yes,
Oh, okay. Friends.
yes.
It is a
It
difficult
could be
one.
friends, it could be relatives, it could be your
Yeah,
community.
yeah. I mean,
It could be us, the church.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there is a balance somewhere whereby there's sometimes when somebody is actually genuine, they might need help or they don't have enough.
Yes.
So, but then there is a time when it becomes the
Yeah.
same person is always.
That's the one I'm talking about.
And
yes.
then you can, without embarrassing them, you can explain to them that, you know what, it's a business and this time is a little bit tight. I'm not able to do it in a polite way. And if you do it politely, I think people will understand. So there should be a politeness there, because then the same people maybe can go and tarnish your name, or, you know, she's like that and that. So you have to find a way, you know, of telling them without making them feel bad.
And one more question. How do you get the talent, the people who can do things you do with the passion that you have?
Yeah.
Because catering is a bit difficult. It's I was working in a hotel, and I know how difficult it is. And to get talent and keep it.
I think my passion drives me, so I try to keep on top of things, but I'm realizing I'm getting old as well. I need to slow down. So I have brought in my son, who is not very good at the cooking, the product production, but is good at the admin. But I have, now I've learned to try to endeavor to train people. It's not easy when you've been used to doing the thing yourself and letting go. It's like having a baby, and that baby, you need to let that baby go. But the baby has to go. It has to grow up and move on. So we train the people, we monitor them. Some never pick up, you let them go, and there are those that are able to pick up, and constantly you have to monitor the product, because people like to do shortcuts, even if they've been there for so many years. Yeah.
Thank you, Margaret. I think we've got only like 3 minutes, 1 minute. So can we have one more question? That's the last question before we close and have our break, before we go into our main service. Yes, Mr. Kanyenye.
Thank you very much.
Minister Kanyenye.
Sister Margaret. I think we need to give another hand clap to God for Sister Margaret.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, because I really appreciate the fact that you've come out to share out what you've gone through, and you've given us tips which make some of us now fly as though we don't have wings. Now, this point you've talked about of ensuring you have the dream, you have the passion, you have the recipe, but you know it by yourself. I think it's one of the challenges I've found out for our businesses, for Bros, the herbal production. We've gone through all those processes, testing, to get the standards right. We took to Uganda, it was tested. But then I happened to find that I know the formulas myself. Now, however much, like you said, it takes time, I try to make sure I'm full of my family to get to know the formulas. But sometimes a little bit tricky, but I've learned that I thought I was too late, but it can be done. But again as well, this life is too short. If I died today, I'll die with all the formulas, yet the herbal medicine has been approved. People like it, God is working. So I think I need to act quick so that I get that out to make sure other people can do what I do.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And also maybe if you can pass it on to maybe one of your children, or are they still young?
Yeah,
But they are growing.
they are listening.
Yes. Yeah, so it's never too early, because I see the Asian community, they bring in their children to their shops when they are young, and they teach them. Even in the winter, they are shivering there, but they are there. They are seeing what their parents are doing. So I think it's important to start bringing our children into whatever we are passionate, into our business or whatever we are doing when they are still early. And when they grow up, I think it is easier for them to pick it up from there.
And this final one. I know, of course, I'm sure this is not news to hear that Ugandans are not easy. It's a common statement. It's a common statement. And you've said, somebody told you that, somebody told you that as a black you won't pass, the lecturers will not give you marks, and you overcame that.
I will not pass.
And I know, of course, here, when it comes to business, banks will always set up where there are other banks because they look at other customers. McDonald's will be where there is KFC or some others. So how did you identify your target group, and how did you choose your location where you were able to be established?
Okay, I've honestly speaking, to the two locations Even the one that I opened, one time I opened in Coventry, but I got challenges and it closed. I've always prayed, and God has always showed me that this is the place. But I also I want to be where is accessible, especially when it comes to a restaurant, where there is, so I always look out for that. I go and look at a lot of premises, but it has to be near the main road because it gives you an advantage. If it is located somewhere inside there, people will always find a reason not to come. But if it's in the main road, it's very important to think about where it's located. The main road, the buses that go there, and also if the product is good, sometimes they will look, most of the time they will look for you. So it's, if your product is good and it's known, they will find you. They'll come from wherever they will come to.
Just
Yeah.
one question
Thank you.
online is, do you deliver to Kent?
Sorry?
Do you deliver to Kent or Croydon? Because that's a challenge for some of us with family. We know your excellent cuisine. We'd
Yeah.
love, especially on Sundays, family.
Yeah.
Do you deliver to Kent or Croydon? Thank you.
Do I
Deliver.
deliver? Yes, I deliver, but not with Uber Eat or Just Eat, because Uber Eat is a radius of 3 miles. But if you ordered for a function, we will deliver. Yeah.
So-
we deliver to Birmingham, Oxford.
So we're
We've
waiting
been
for you
there,
to
yeah.
upscale your business and open up franchises
Yeah.
or
Amen.
down in
We
Kent
believe
or-
on that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so
Stephen.
much. Yeah,
I
thank
think
you.
that is going to come in the second part of her story. Thank you, Margaret.
Thank you
so
so
much.
much. Yeah, thank
So
you.
please come up and tune in for the second part. You hear much more. And that opening up is coming. Right now, actually, I need to also state or tell you or share that this businesswoman is part of the aspiring mission community, which I lead in Nanhead. So you can see that businesses and mission communities are connected. Okay? That's very important. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you.